one thing I told William Ruto, and which unfortunately he refused to tell Kenyans when he was talking about me telling him this or the other. When he offered me the position of Attorney General, I turned it down.
Why?
That was before. And I told him, well, I've been Speaker for 10 years. It's too much reading, because, the Speaker has to read through every committee report to approve it for tabling. So this is too much. So I told him, I just want to be in the cabinet, whatever ministry. I didn't care. I did not choose. And at first we left it at that.
Kwa mambo ya rafiki yangu Bwana Muturi. Bwana Muturi nilimpatia kazi kama mkuu wa sheria. Yeye mwenyewe alinieleza ya kwamba hii kazi, kwa sababu hajakuwa practice kwa muda mrefu, kwa sababu alitoka huko kwa kuwa magistrate, akaenda bunge, akakuwa mbunge, akakuwa speaker, akasema ile kazi kidogo inamlemea.
2-3 days later, my friend then he had just become speaker, succeeding me, Moses Masika Wetangula, calls me. We meet somewhere in Karen, in some hotel one evening, and in our usual way, he say we had what to do, hand to mouth business, and he tells me, I've been sent by the president to plead with you to accept the position of Attorney General. And I told Moses, no. I've already told him. And he tells me, no. He told me to come and plead with you as a friend, classmate, roommate. I mean, because Moses and I have come a long way. I told him, my reservation is one. The way you know me, I'm a stickler to the law. And I just fear taking up a job where I will not be able to exercise my freedom to interpret the law as I best know how. And but I told him anyway. But that's my fear. But I didn't tell him to go and tell him that.
Yeah. So nikakaa kidogo, nikaona kweli amelemewa na ile kazi, lakini makosa pengine ni yangu, nilimsindikizia, I persuaded him, nikamwambia no, it's okay, fanya tu hii kazi, nafikiri haitakulemea. Lakini kwa muda nikaona kweli imemlemea, so nikasema okay, wacha nimbadilishie kazi, nikampatia kazi ya waziri.
A day or two later, William calls me. We are in State House and is eager to announce his cabinet. So we have some general meeting with several other, later cabinet colleagues. Then, as we finish, he says, JB, I have not finished with you. So we go into the office, the inner office. And, we go, we sit down for a more cup of tea, because usually that's one thing I think William is very generous with, tea. So we having another cup of tea, and he tells me, JB, I've not finished with you. I said, why? And he told me, I'm pleading with you to take the job of Attorney General. I told him, you know what, I've told you, I give you my reasons. I don't want to go to go do another 10 years or 5 years of just into books again. I want to relax a bit, because I know ministers, the ministers usually don't have to do a lot of reading. And I know that, except maybe the cabinet secretary for National Treasury, who has no option but to read a lot, just like the Attorney General. So he told me, JB, I have very many lawyer friends, but it is you I want. This is the time now I decided, let me tell William the truth. I told him, the problem I have is, you know me to be a stickler to the law. And taking up this job, and then perhaps one day you want to do things in a particular way which the law does not allow, I will have problems. And that's why I'm actually reluctant to take this job. It's not about the reading. Then he told me, JB, that's the reason why I want you to take up the job.
Lakini hata wewe unajua. Sasa hapo katikati akagoma kuja katika baraza la mawaziri. Sasa mimi nataka nikuulize wewe, ni mimi nimvuta kazi ama ni yeye alijivuta kazi? Sasa wewe ni waziri, baraza la mawaziri umeigomea. What am I supposed to do?
Sijagomea baraza la mawaziri. And I did not abscond as the president seemed to imply. I don't consider at least what I did to be absconding duty. I was constrained to comment further since all along, since June, the events of June last year, whenever I tried to make inquiries about what was happening with regard to my son, I was told, please, that matter is under active police investigation. And therefore, it's not something that you can ask. And I'm saying this to us to put the record straight, because I've seen over some period people asking, why did it take you so long? Remember, I was a serving cabinet secretary, and besides that, a former speaker, a trained lawyer of many years standing. So when I was told and I talked to the people that are involved, and they tell me the matter is still under active investigation.
The people involved in terms of matters abduction?
No. The people involved in police, security matters, because I kept asking, I wanted to know, I was keen to know why it is that my son had been abducted. So I was always told it's under active investigation.
So I gave my good friend Justin a chance, a second chance, but in the process, he dismissed himself. And I have, what did you expect me to do? I give somebody a chance. He starts to do whatever he's doing. So I think let's move on. Let us, and it's not the end of the, it is not the end of the road. JB Muturi has a very good pension as a former speaker. So hawezi kuumia sana ataenda kuhangaika. Ako na kazi ingi, ako na pension, anaweza kusonga mbele.
Tunaweza labda tuone wakati ambao.
Good question. Thank you, Janet. I went through a lot of soul searching, and at a point asked, is it worth it? And after consulting a number of close friends, many advised that please stay put. Maybe there is a lot more you could be able to gather about what your administration is doing, and at an appropriate time, let the world know. And therefore, somebody would really have it. When the cabinet was dissolved on the 11th of July, I remember the president farbored. If you remember his statement, he even was talking about the Attorney General of the cabinet. I called him, asked him, boss, what is wrong with you? There's no Attorney General of the cabinet. It's the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya. And I told him, you cannot dismiss the Attorney General under Section 12 of the Office of the Attorney General Act without setting up a tribunal, because if you read that section, it puts 5 grounds, and grounds can only be established through a semi or quasi-judicial process, namely a tribunal. In fact, now that the other day, and I have a lot of respect for my Muslim brothers and sisters, but I thought the way he said it the other day at the iftar dinner, it was so casual. In fact, I began wondering, do we have a...
When you're talking about endowment funds?
Yes. There is no Muslim, nothing like that called the Muslim Endowment Fund in the first instance. So it means that he did not consult anybody. He just rose up and spoke just like the way he's doing on top of vehicles, saying anything that...
I want to come back and...